All right, welcome to Voices in the Community. My name's Dr. Chase Hoteri, and I'm the superintendent at Franklin Township Community School Corporation. Here on Voices in the Community, we share stories and conversations with the students, staff, and community members who make a difference in Franklin Township. Today, we are talking our youngest learners, our Trailblazers at Wanamaker Early Learning Center. Joining us today is Nicole Webb, who's the director of WELC. Nicole has spent the past 19 years as a general education teacher supporting kindergarten and first grade students in Franklin Township, where she developed a deep passion for early childhood education and supporting families as they begin their educational journey. She's a proud graduate of UIndy, Go Hounds, where she earned her bachelor's degree in elementary education with endorsements in both reading and kindergarten. She went on to complete her master's in curriculum instruction from Olivet Nazarene University and a second master's degree in school leadership and business management from the University of Indianapolis. Nicole, welcome to Voices in the Community.
Hi, thanks for having me.
No problem. We've also got Sarah Puckett with us here, who's our early learning coordinator at WELC. Sarah brings 18 years of experience in education, having taught in districts including IPS, Clark Pleasant, and Franklin Township in roles ranging from resource teacher to third grade classroom teacher, as well as teaching in a self-contained classroom for students with emotional disabilities. She holds a bachelor's degree in elementary education with a focus on mild interventions and a reading endorsement from the University of Indianapolis, another Greyhound, and a master's in educational leadership from Indiana University, where she also earned her Director of Exceptional Learner certification. Sarah, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so we're ready to rock here. And I have to say, before we get into the history of WELC, my kiddos were born in 2008 and 2010, and probably about I'd say 2011, 2012, I got an email from the district and said, would you be interested if we opened a preschool? And I was so excited. I filled out that form as quickly as I could, and it didn't happen when my kids were in early childhood before they started at South Creek Elementary. So WELC did come into existence. Yeah. Nicole, why don't you just give us a little bit of history about the beginnings of WELC and how all that happened?
Sure. So back in 2019, we were sitting in an empty building over here in Wanamaker, and our superintendent at the time had a passion for early learning and brought the vision aboard. And I think people just really fell in love with it. And so what happened was they gutted parts of the building and beautifully built this and renovated this building from the ground up, made for our earliest learners right here in Franklin Township. We are very proud that we welcome our earliest learners to that nurturing and warm and welcoming environment, and give families that fresh start and that first step into their early childhood education here at Wanamaker. So we offer half day and full day preschool programming. We offer developmental preschool. We offer lots of good things here, and including some infants and toddlers as well that we'll get into in a little bit. So.
That's awesome. Yeah. And so Wanamaker was one of our original elementaries. So we have a lot of our community members that attended elementary school when it was Wanamaker Elementary. And so they love seeing that building revive. Probably one of my favorite places to visit in the district is to come over and see our littles at Wanamaker Elementary. So you started in on some of the programs that we have as far as infant care all the way up. Let's dive a little bit into that, because I don't know that everybody knows what programs we offer. And within that, talk about like some of the popularity of the programs that we have, because I know we are notorious for getting on a wait list very, very quickly. And so talk about some of those programs where, we just are looking at potentially adding some more space.
Yeah. So primarily what we house is tuition-based preschool. So we offer full-day preschool. We offer half-day preschool. Obviously, full day is kind of the hot commodity around here. We offer 9-month programming, and a lot of people don't know that we're open year-round. So we're open 12 months out of the year for that full-day programming. We offer developmental preschool. So students with developmental delays, or those that are aging out of first steps, we offer them an evaluation process that they go through here. And, our team is very educated and well put together to come in and look at those concerns that families have. We offer walk-in speech therapies as well. We also, the big one is the infant toddler program, right? The little babies that everybody oohs and ahs when they come in to see. So what that looks like is that's employer-based childcare. So we offer infants, and then our 1s and our 2s are just for our Franklin Township employees. So it's a great catch, and people get really excited to come to our district and work because we can take care of their little ones while they're just down the road.
Yeah, when I first started as superintendent, I did a lot of listening tours, and at every stop, whenever there was something on the strengths board, there would always be WELC up there, and it was notoriously our employees. You talked about employee-based childcare, and so our employees in Franklin Township get access. Just to kind of repeat that again, get access to what age areas there that we give access to our employees only?
only go starting at birth, so 6 weeks, and then 1-year-olds and 2-year-olds. So that child care portion is really hard to find in the community. There's a very big drought of infant and toddler child care right now. So our district said, okay, let's pour some resources and some energy into that. And it's a little scary. A lot of districts don't do that because it's hard to find good quality care for those littles, especially. And so we took a big bite, and it's been super successful, and we're just really proud of that program. So it's about 20-25 spots that we have for Franklin Township staff members, and there is a wait list, but we work hard to get everybody a spot and get everybody in by the time at least they turn 3. So
yeah, that's awesome. Such a strength for our district to be able to do that. So when I'm over there, you talked a little bit about the programs we have, and I don't think people realize we have somewhere around 75 people that operate in and around Welk to make everything happen. Talk about that staff and the people that are involved, and again, the great experience that we have for our kiddos at Welk.
Well, it's a well-oiled machine. So we're open from 6:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. So a lot of people don't know that as well. It's a very big, long day for kids. So we need as many hands as possible as we can get. So close to 75 staff members made up of certified special education teachers that are Franklin Township employees, of course. All of our preschool classrooms are certified with a CDA. So some of them have teaching degrees as well. So classroom lead teachers, we have plenty of assistants, probably close to, I'd say, about 45 assistants. Occupational therapists, physical therapists, speech and language therapists. We house a school psychologist and a half of one. So she's here a few extra days a week just based off that need. And then we have, being a part of the district, we're fortunate to have a full custodial staff, a full food service staff, a community health network nurse here on site. So that's very unique part of, the part of being a part of the school district is that we get those commodities, to help our building succeed.
Yeah, and I think that's what people love is that we're anchored to a school corporation, right? School corporation that their kids are going to go to. And so they get that connection. So I'll jump over to Sarah. That kind of changes the mission of a childcare preschool kind of center when you're connected to a school district. So talk just a little bit about the mission of Welk and how that kind of starts kids off right on their educational journey.
Yeah, so our mission is that we are a community where every child begins their educational journey with joy, confidence, and a deep love of learning. And so we strive to empower their curiosity, make them capable and compassionate learners who are prepared to thrive in school and in life beyond school.
That's awesome. So I want to jump right into that because, again, we want them all to thrive and do well. And again, I wish this was all in existence when they get in there because I think the big benefit that we have is our curriculum that we utilize at Welk. And we just are introducing new curriculum this year. And talk a little bit about that and what we do, because we usually don't think about curriculum when we're going all the way down into preschool. We think about them coming for play and those other things. So kind of talk to us about our new curriculum and how we weave all of that into the experience at Welk.
Yeah, so we just adopted for this year a curriculum called Frog Street. We were previously using Big Day, and it was out of print. And as we grow, we just couldn't get new materials for our rooms. So we spent a couple years really searching for the best fit for our building. And so we found Frog Street. We have curriculum that is birth to 5. Our infants even have that curriculum where it's broken down by every 3 months, and it really is focused on meeting their milestones. And then it's also science and reading, research based. So it has a lot of the structures for ELA and then, of course, math. But a big component is also the social emotional learning. So it also has conscious discipline built into it. And so we have been doing conscious discipline since our building opened. But this just puts it all in one cohesive curriculum. And all of our classrooms start with a Brain Smart Start, where they unite, disengage their stress, connect, and make daily commitments. And then it also has the structures of conscious discipline throughout the classroom as well, where we have safe places and visuals to help kids communicate their needs. Classroom rituals, like if a student is absent, they wish each other well. And when they come back, they have little rituals of when they welcome them back into the classroom. And they have a family tree because it's very important to have them see themselves within the classroom as being a member of that classroom. And so in addition to that, it's just very heavily aligned with kindergarten readiness. So our kids, as they go to kindergarten, we get feedback from kindergarten teachers that they can tell which ones really went to Welk because they're ready.
Yeah, no, it's data that we look at here when we look at iRead scores in third grade and watching how our kids matriculate from Welk into their iRead scores, and our kids do really, really well. And it is the cutest thing watching conscious discipline in action in our preschool, and then how it connects up to the elementary level, and getting them ready for that that kind of rigor of getting into kindergarten and being there all day. So the other thing that's really a big connection with Welk is the partnerships that we have with the high school, with colleges. I know we even have some former interns that are employed with us. So you want to talk briefly about how we not only have Welk as this unbelievable childcare and preschool center, but it also helps with our pathways at the high school and some college connection there.
Yeah, so we have a strong working partnership with the Early Childhood Education Program, the ECE. And so a lot of those students come either depending on what class they're in, they come for field trips to see what we have going on here. We also have kids or students from the high school that are coming here for their internship. So they come and they join in the classroom, they jump in a circle time with the kids, they play at different centers with the kids, and our students love them and look up to them. So it's fun to watch the high schoolers come and get down on the floor and act like little kids themselves. So we have that partnership. And then we also have a partnership with the College and Career Readiness, where we'll share about the career in early childhood and then see if it's something they're interested in to help them find the path beyond high school. And then we also have students that come from job coaches over at Franklin Central to also participate in our classrooms, similar to what our kids that are doing internships here do.
That's awesome. So it's more than just a center. You guys are actually impacting the community at large with some of the other programs that are involved there. And so a lot of cool things going on. Nicole, I'm gonna jump back to you because we talked a little bit about programs expanding and everything like that. And what we didn't talk about is we did expand over to New Bethel recently as that building opened up. You want to talk about that connection there and what it provides us as a district in terms of having another location?
So what ends up happening every year is there's just this big wait list because everybody wants to come to Wanamaker. And so when New Bethel was built, we thought, okay, how can we utilize that maybe, a few extra classrooms as capacity that we could, spread some love over there. And so what we did is we partnered with Mrs. Dreyer over there, who used to be the director over here at Wanamaker, which was a great connection. And we built in a full preschool continuum over there at New Bethel. So they have 3 classrooms. They have a developmental classroom, they have a half-day community classroom, and then a pre-K classroom. And so that provides a full continuum for those children to be able to continue and add 3 more classrooms to our structure. So that's been exciting and really great. But yeah, with potential expansion, again, we hear the community and what they're asking for are more full day rooms. And so one of the things I always love to share is that how much love and support that we get from you, Dr. Huteri, and the central office staff. And I think that's what keeps Sarah and I ticking in early learning, is that we are loved, we are cherished, and we feel the support. And so again, we come to you and we say, hey, we've got these wait lists every year. What can we do? What can we do? And being a self-sustaining entity is really important to us. And so that is a huge incentive as to why we can grow and consider expanding. And so, one day here we'll hopefully add on a new wing and have some more opportunities to host some more full day classrooms, because that's what we keep hearing that our families want. And, maybe looking between 6 and 8 new rooms. And we're going to work hard for that and try to get that quality of care again that we're, so used to getting, and grow some ECE learners and bring them on over from the high school and lead classrooms. So.
Yeah, so we do. At my last superintendent's coffee, I had somebody specifically ask about space at Welk and do we have plans to expand Welk? And we've got plans on paper. We have looked at where it would go. We looked at the number of classrooms. We started to vet out what that potentially would look like. Haven't quite secured funding for the building because, as you mentioned, Welk is self-sustaining. We're able to staff that building with the funds being a tuition-based program. But one of the things the district does pick up is on new facilities. And so that's somewhere that we're taking a look at. One thing I also want to talk about very, very quickly, just because we're expanding the area, is one thing I'm always so impressed with at Welk is there's a lot of guidelines that go into running a preschool.
That's a great
Um,
point.
I
Thank you for the
cannot walk
reminder.
anywhere in that building without somebody looking at me and say,
Yeah.
is that door closed behind
Yes.
you, Dr. O'Terry, as you're coming through? And so I am very much trained. And so as we expand, talk about what you look for in those facilities to make
Yeah.
sure that they fit all of the great, very secure, very specific things that are done at Welk, so we take care of our youngest learners.
Oh, I'm so glad for the reminder. No, we're a fully licensed center. So that means we have all the regulations, not just with the FSSA, but also with our school district. So again, the love and the support and the understanding that comes from the central office when we do have some of these rules that don't always make sense, they do believe us. So when you're looking at an expansion, you've got to look at, square footage, how many children are going to be able to fit inside a room based off those qualifications and restrictions. Bathrooms, amount of bathrooms. Oh, Sarah, help me out if I'm thinking of something that maybe I've missed. Square footage is a big thing when you're talking about new construction, and how big the rooms have to be, how far, apart, if we're talking full day with cots, how far apart the cots have to be. There's just a lot of math that goes into the process. So like Dr. Hoteri mentioned, the doors, very secure, very safe. A lot of that comes from professional development with our staff, just training them to be always on alert and just, always having a head count of how many kids are in each location and where they're located at and knowing where those babies are at all times. So
I would feel really, really good if my kid was there. I will say that. When I go over there, there is not anything that's left undone, unsaid, not monitored. I mean, it is absolutely tremendous, and at a place that makes you feel really good when you walk in to see the care that the employees have for the kids. I know all the safety part of the stuff is what I'm talking about now, but when I peek into those rooms and watch them on the floor working with the kids, doing everything that they're doing, it's pretty amazing, which kind of leads me to the very end here, which is, Sarah, Welk has been nominated for Best of Indy 4 years in a row now. Talk a little bit about what that recognition is, what we're asking the community to do as we promote this, and what it means for the team over there at Welk.
Yeah, so Indy Star every year does a community's Best of Indy Community Choice Awards. And so we didn't know about this. We just surprisingly got an email a few years ago, and that's how we found out about this and that we were nominated, and it just keeps happening. So we need you to go to Best of Indy Community Choice Awards and vote for us. We're up for 3 different categories for Welk's preschool, and so vote for us.
Awesome. That's super cool. So I think there's a lot of room that we covered here in our just about 20 minutes here, but let's see if we can recap a little bit. So Wanamaker is just an awesome place that we've got infant and child care there for our employees. We're always looking to expand that. We're looking at potential expansion. Don't quite have funding secured for it, but Welk is a self-sustaining center. It's tuition based, and so the district does not pick up costs to run that building on a day-to-day basis. And most importantly, Welk is up for Community Choice Best of Indy, and we're asking you to jump out there and vote for us on Indy Star's website. We'll get that link to you so that you can make sure and go out and support such an awesome thing that we have for our district. Sarah Nicole, I really, really appreciate you taking the time. I know that you've got a lot of kids running around there, and we're heading down towards partial dismissal. We've got dismissal coming up for the next couple hours that just kind of ranges as the day goes on. So thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for joining Voices of the Community, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Okay.